Wanuri Kahiu's 2018 feature film, Rafiki, is a work of aesthetic precision. Kahiu shapes the emotional landscape of the film's narrative about same-sex love through a stylistic treatment of location, color, and sound. The audiovisual aesthetic celebrates love, sexuality, and femininity, while also becoming part of how the film critiques the heteropatriarchy and implicates Christianity and colonialism in the criminalization of homosexuality in Kenya. Rafiki was produced in Kenya and banned prior to release by the Kenyan Film Classification Board, which announced that their decision was due to the film's, quote, homosexual theme and clear intent to promote lesbianism in Kenya, contrary to the law and dominant values of the Kenyans. The laws under which same-sex acts are a felony in the country are remnants of a British-era penal code that has persisted after Kenya's 1963 independence. This history that resulted in Rafiki's banning is acknowledged in the film by a focus on the role of the church, an institution which functions symbolically for all of colonial imperialism. Rafiki is set in Nairobi, and the image continually integrates the city into its aesthetic. The opening visually centers us in Kenya's neighborhood and illustrates the heartbeat of the economic, political, and social realms of this community. For the rest of the film, the city is a colorful and critical backdrop for the love story between Kenna and Ziki, performed by actors Samantha Mugatsia and Sheila Muniva. From a classic romantic montage across city sites to the two spending the night together in an abandoned bus decked in pink flowers. Kahiu treats Nairobi as a character, complete with flaws and triumphs. Still location shots are incorporated throughout the film, emphasizing the significance of the city, which is depicted as a vivid place of life where a love story unfolds and businesses run by women critique the economic ubiquity of the heteropatriarchy. At the same time, the characters that run these businesses are complicit in the cruel treatment of the protagonists. In this way, the film acknowledges the harmful legacy of imported Christian ideologies in Nairobi, while still celebrating the vibrancy of the city, and this becomes a visual statement of hope. The cinematography and the mise-en-scène in the film foreground the use of color. Pinks, purples, reds, greens, and yellows in vibrant tones come together to set the stage for Kenna and Ziki's love to unfold, with the two characters' costuming as vivid centerpieces. The color palette is reflected in the setting, the costuming, the lighting, the vivid color grade, and is complemented by cinematic techniques like lens flares and light leaks. The use of color and light is linked to the mood of the narrative. The image is its most vibrant at the height of Ziki and Kenna's love, while a more muted palette emerges when they become victims of a hate crime. The romantic use of light and color only returns again with the two leads' reunion at the end of the film. Seeing this evolution in the image allows us to understand the colorful aesthetic as connected to queer love and hope. Beyond this general significance of the color palette, pink and purple have particular symbolic weight. Pink is the color the film links to Kenna and Ziki's love. Pink like Ziki's hair, pink like the flowers on the bus, pink like the light which literally surrounds them as they fall for each other. Traditionally associated with institutional power, the color purple comes to signify the church and that which the church represents, imported colonial laws and ideology which incriminate same-sex relationships. The film incorporates 3 church scenes, and in the final one, Kenna is subjected to a sort of exorcism for homosexuality. After this, we see her waking up in a purple shirt with her face marked by a purple bruise. This color links the church with both physical and psychological harm, and is a visual reminder of how Kenna is being marked and wounded by the influence of Christianity, and by extension, colonialism. Rafiki's sound design winds between a quiet background and emotive Afropop songs. The soundtrack includes musical artists such as Muthoni Drummer Queen, Mumbi Kasumba, and Njoki Karu, all women artists. In fact, all the vocals in the film are performed by women. These songs set the stage for familiar, sentimental, and hopeful moments of young love and romance between Kenna and Ziki. In contrast, the film employs a minimal sound design in moments of tension. When the characters are in church or are attacked at night, there is no music playing in the background. Similarly to the use of color, the soundtrack is used to enhance love, as opposed to drama and fear, and in this way the feminine Afropop music becomes a signifier for love and hope in the film. Kahiu's treatment of the location as a character, the color palette, and the Afropop soundtrack in Rafiki embodies the notion of Afro bubblegum, a term she coined herself to refer to representations of Africa that celebrate joy. Rafiki shows aesthetic choices which rejoice in the feminine, the queer, and in love itself, and these choices at the same time acknowledge and critique Christianity, colonialism, and the heteropatriarchy. The audiovisual landscape forms an aesthetic, an emotional symbolic system, and a political argument in support of accepting same-sex relationships.